So in yesterday's episode, I put the choice to you lots. Do we take this job in Ukraine or do we reject it? And a few of you said reject it. And then when I say a few, I mean a lot of you. Yeah. So hello and welcome back to Around the Block. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to another episode of Job Hunting. As we saw in the introduction, you guys overwhelmingly want me to reject the Vorskla job. So we're going to walk away from it right now. Personally, I'm with the very small minority of people that thought this actually might be quite a good job to take. I was a bit 50-50 on it, thinking that, they're a good team in a very good league in Ukraine with European football right now. I thought that might be quite a nice little thing to keep us going for a little while. But a lot of people were pointing out the fact that we are never ever going to challenge for the top of Ukrainian football with teams like Shakhtar and Dynamo Kiev in there. And we've got a good chance actually of coming back to Ukraine at a later date with a Shakhtar or Dynamo Kiev. In the meantime, perhaps we should be targeting someone like Craiova, who we noted in last episode were available. We've applied for that job, and we should try and hold out for that one instead. So that's what we're going to be doing. You guys actually were pretty keen, though, on me keeping the Croatia job, which I was a little bit surprised about, but the comments got so much support on them. So that is what we'll do. We'll stick with Croatia as well as looking for a club job. But Croatia is not the priority today. The priority today is to find a new club to manage. And hopefully Craiova will come around the corner and give us an interview. Now, in the meantime, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed a new microphone is in place today. The old one has gone, and hopefully with that, deep voice Tom is locked away in the channel history. For some reason, that microphone just was on its last legs, maybe, which is a bit weird considering it's like a pretty decent mic. But somehow, every now and again, it would just do something weird with its internals or something like that, and obviously you get deep voice Tom for an episode or two, which I never realised until I was actually editing, because the levels on my screen don't change at all when that happens. It just does it automatically. So of course a new microphone was in order. So actually I've gone for a big audio setup. We've got a Rode NT1A which plugs into this Focusrite down here on my screen. It's got some audio interface. Like, I've gone all out with this stuff, so hopefully you're going to see, or hopefully you'll hear some improved audio. I've still got to work things out with it a little bit now. Hopefully we'll try and get some slightly better audio for you in later episodes once I've fine-tuned this and everything. But it seems okay to me right now, so fingers crossed it sounds a little bit better and nicer to you as well. But with all of that out of the way, it's time to go job hunting again. So hopefully this Craiova job will come through. We'll get that. Some people on the Discord did mention that Slovan Bratislava would be a decent shout. And actually, they're not wrong. Slovan Bratislava would be a good shout. But I'm not sure if you guys would be interested in me going back to Slovakia. Particularly now it's only the 26th most reputable league in Europe. We've been a lot higher. I don't think you guys would be that interested in me going back to Slovakia. So for now, we'll leave it with Craiova. Hopefully they'll come back to us very soon. But then, of course, there are the options further down here. Some other clubs hopefully sacking their managers quite soon. I mean, CSKA Sofia could be a decent maybe one to go to in Bulgaria. Dinamo Bucharest in Romania, they're also potentially available too. Slavan Belupu in Croatia, they're in a very precarious situation despite having 5 wins on the bounce. And maybe they won't get sacked soon, but this would be a very nice club to go to as well, potentially, because Croatia, a very decent league. But with all that being said, we're going to continue through. I'll alert you if anything happens with the job at Craiova. If not, we'll have to look and apply for some more jobs. Oh, it's finally here. Finally here, this job interview at Craiova. They finally got back to us nearly a month and a half after we applied for it. Okay, let's not mess this up now. Let's attend the interview. Thanks for giving me the chance to talk to you. First question is always about language. And yeah, here we go. Can you explain why it shouldn't be an issue that you've not managed in this country for? Okay, it's not quite language. Maybe they are actually changing things up a little bit. What we're going to say is the fact to have some experience in various other countries should hopefully make up for the fact that I'm yet to work here. Should I say that? Or I've always wanted to manage this country. Hopefully I'll give you the chance. I'll say that. Hopefully you'll give me the chance. Can you tell me how you intend to handle the workload of managing both a club and a national team? Now, obviously, we don't really want to resign from Croatia. But I'd rather have the Craiova job than the Croatia job, if I'm honest with you. So do we go for that I'm prepared to resign? Or do you want to see... But you guys were pretty keen on the international management and stuff, weren't you? So I feel like saying I feel the unique experience of working at international level would make me a better manager overall. There's certain things club football can't provide. That might be a bit insulting to him as the club owner. I believe I'm capable of managing both teams to a high standard. I'll say that. It's a bit cocky, but I'll say that. You've applied for lots of jobs before. Well, it's acceptable when it comes to how long I've been in management. Media handling has been made mediocre at best. It's non-existent at best. That's what it is, but I can do better. I'll prove it to you. Media controversies, I can always predict which questions are coming up now. We can do better next time, whatever you want me to do. We'll do better next time, apparently. We do that every single time. We are better next time. They always ask about it. We want someone to take us to the next level. Of course, my reputation sufficiently answers that question. It's what I do. I'll take charge immediately. That's brilliant. I'm more than happy to work with the director of football. I'm not, but for the purpose of just agreeing with him, being a yes man to try and get the job, I'll say I am. I can always sack him later on down the line. We'll give you some money to change the backroom staff setup. Again, I really want this job, so I'm going to say no because I want to try and keep him happy. But we'll bring Shitty Jell in at some point if he wants to join us. Play attacking football, work within the wage budget, finish in the top 2 places, and reach the cup final. Yep, that all seems perfect, acceptable to me. They always want to finish in the top 2, so that seems as good as winning it to me. And I think that is going to be that. Any other requests? No requests. Okay. Interview done. Excellent. Any other jobs available right now? No. We'll keep an eye on the jobs available, though, because I'm not entirely sure if we're going to get this Craiova job. They waited a long time to interview me, and I feel like that doesn't really go in my favour. I feel like if they wanted me, they would have interviewed me right at the start. I feel like I've been interviewed like a month and a half after I applied because I am like the 12th option or something like that. Still not an awful lot in that job sense. If we don't get this Craiova job, we're going to be waiting for quite a while to get a new one, I reckon. It might even be like next season, because I'm not quite sure. Maybe it'll be like a February sort of sacking period where loads of teams sack their managers in February, maybe. Still not the favourite. This guy is Ragnar. He's got a cool name and probably is a better manager than me, and he's just left that Vorskla job, the one we could have had. Was Craiova manager before, actually, as well. So he's been around a bit. Please give it to me. Please give it to me. I deserve it. I really deserve it. But apparently not. Craiova interview unsuccessful. This is a shambles. Oh dear me. And as you can see, there's 2 jobs available. Neither of them we're interested in. So I'll probably see you in February or March when more jobs come available. But what I do want to have a quick look at, like this club, fixtures, when do they come back from winter break? Not until, or they're actually not on a winter break. Romanian clubs are still playing. Okay, interesting. That was a bad example, wasn't it? But like this German club, for example, schedule, they don't come back until February, like the early February. Czech Republic, this club, they don't come back until March. So I feel like the best thing to do is just go on holiday until like mid-February, and then hopefully some more jobs will come up because no one's playing games right now, no one's getting sacked right now, so I'll just go on holiday for a month and a half. So I'm back from my holiday to the Maldives this time. We'll say it's the Maldives, and the Shakhtar Donetsk job is available. Now, I don't think we're going to give them this job, if I'm honest with you. I don't think they'll come and offer it to us, because you don't know. They're 4-star. Let's apply for the job first and foremost. Apply for the job, all right? And declare interest in the job as well. Have I done that? I think I've declared interest in the job. There we go. They received my application. They've not turned it down straight away, which is good. I want the post, apparently. And now I've got the questions being asked. These moments arrive once or twice, at most during a manager's career. If they're lucky, I'd be stupid not to want to explore my options. I'm going to say that, shall I? I'll say that. Oh, even more clubs now are having a word with me about maybe going to Shakhtar. It's an honour to have my name associated with such a prestigious team. We'll say that. Like, try and flatter them a little bit. Unless they just don't like brown noses, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong way to go. I've said it now. There's even more news now about me maybe going there. I felt they're a fantastic side, could do a good job. And Croatian manager confirms his Shakhtar Donetsk interest. Now, if I'm honest with you, I'm tempted actually in this interview. I think where I may have been let down in that previous interview was because I said I wanted to stay on as Croatian manager. I feel like for this interview, I should say, if you want me to leave Croatia, I'll do it. Because if I'm honest with you, I'd much rather be the Shakhtar manager than Croatian manager in like a smaller club. If Shakhtar come knocking, I'm trying to put out all the stops for them. The fact we've not been declined still does make me think we're going to get an interview there. Which is quite harsh, actually, considering that Red Star Belgrade didn't even give us an interview. I think we applied for it and they rejected us within a day. But maybe Oh, this is looking promising. Oh, Shakhtar fans consider me a leading candidate. That's big. We've not seen that before. Oh my God, are we about to land the Shakhtar Donetsk job? That would be mental. Apparently, we've got 2 news articles. One from Goal, one from the Croatian Daily. Wow, mental. Okay, am I like the favourite for it? Job Centre, Shakhtar. I'm not the favourite. This chap is, who's the Slavia Prague manager right now, which means that if he gets it, Slavia Prague will come up, and obviously we will apply for that job if we don't get the Shakhtar Donetsk job, if this guy gets it instead. But that is big, that the fans want me, apparently. Give us an interview. This would be mental. Imagine us taking that other job in Ukraine, when this could have been around the corner. We could have had this instead. Imagine if we took that other Ukraine job that you told me to decline. I'm now thanking you guys for telling me to decline that job, because this could be big. Still not heard anything from them yet. And this is going to be more like the Craiova job now, where they'll leave me hanging for quite a long time, and then I don't get the job. I get interviewed as like a token interview at the end, as they didn't even offer me an interview. Didn't even offer me an interview. Apparently, I'll be a good fit for the club's ambition for the future, and this is because I like to play a high-tempo pressing game. Why wouldn't they want me to be on there? Why? There's nothing that says why they haven't chosen me. Well, that excitement is over. That excitement is over very quickly. Have they chosen someone else? Have they got a new manager in? If we look at that job security, no, but they're still looking, and I presume that the guy is still the favourite. So we need to keep a big eye out on this Slavia Prague job now. And interestingly, the Shakhtar job has gone, and the Slavia Prague one isn't there. Not Croatia, are they? I don't know why I clicked on Croatia. We need to be looking for whoever's Prague are from. Czech Republic, that's it. And they didn't go for that guy either. So this job hasn't come up. Oh dear. So it's back to the drawing board again for the bloody jobs. Oh dear. I did say we might not get another one this season, and by looks of things, we're going to be waiting quite a while. To the point where we've actually got some Croatia games coming up, which is interesting. What I'll do with these ones is play them off camera, because quite frankly, this episode is all about trying to get a new job, and I don't want to sort of add an extra 20 minutes to it by playing some international games, which I know some of you might not like because you want to see some of the Croatia stuff, but for now, we're just going to skip over them gently. But before we get there, Dynamo Moscow and Partizan both available. I think we're going to apply for both of these jobs because they are good jobs that are available right now. Partizan, I think I'd be more interested to go to Partizan, actually. We've done a bit of Russia. I think we'll go back to Russia at some point, because I think that's obviously where the Champions League at some point will lie. But Partizan, both, it's all been received. I've already had rumours about the Partizan job. I'd be honoured to be considered for the Partizan job. We'll say that straight away to the news media. Okay, it's still not over. It's still not over yet. And again, with these jobs, I might say to them, like, maybe not Dynamo Moscow, but for Partizan, I might say to them, listen, look, obviously international management, you might not want me to do international management. I'll step back if you want me to. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Apparently, according to the Partizan fans, I'm not their first choice, but apparently I could be a good candidate. So, I mean, that's something. Am I favourite for either of them? Job. No, it's Job Centre, isn't it? No, it's this guy. He's always favourite for it. Every job. Adrian Gula, obviously in demand right now. Ferencváros is available as well right now. Hungarian First Division. And Puskás, top of the league. You love to see that. Puskás right up there. Dioscu won it the season after we left. Puskás at the top right now with not long to go. Obviously we won't go to Ferencváros. That'll sort of go against the narrative a little bit. But obviously we'll keep looking at jobs that might come available. Craiova, their manager, is very insecure. If he gets sacked, we can go back in for that one again, maybe. Imagine him getting sacked straight away. You should have chosen me the first time, lads. Should have chosen me. Just like Shakhtar, Dynamo have come back to me and said, no, we're not even going to give you an interview. Apparently, I'd be an acceptable fit for the club division, but of course, not choosing me. I don't know how I managed to get this CSKA Moscow job back in the day. I guess it was because at the time, we were doing exceptionally well with Puskás, and that must make some clubs like really consider you. So, it's difficult, isn't it? Partizan, though, have come back and they have said we want you to have an interview. Okay, despite offering you an interview, the board have reservations about your ability to deliver the club's ambitious vision for the future. This is mainly as a result of your slight reluctance towards making set pieces an important part of your approach. I mean, that just seems like an excuse out of thin air, but okay, let's attend the interview then. Another one. Let's get down to business. And again, it's going to be the same sort of questions. You've mentioned the country before. I'd love to, though. Hope we give them the chance. Workload with both a club and national team. And what I want to say, I want to get a job. So I'm going to say I'm prepared to resign if it comes down to it. But we can always come back to international management later on. I feel terrible for doing it. I feel really bad. I know you guys kind of want that, but we need a good job, okay? We need a good job. Why we felt it's acceptable to apply for loads of jobs? Well, it's acceptable when you consider how long you've been in management. We'll say that. Controversies, again, we can improve next time. How do you feel about potentially replacing a manager who is very much liked by supporters? Well, my record speaks for itself. I'm proud to say I've always had a strong relationship with fans wherever I've been, and that's actually quite true. I'll take charge immediately if you want me to. I can work with the director of football. We'll sack him down the line. Backroom team, small budget. Let's just say nothing. We need to be a real brown nose in these kind of situations. Okay, now for the vision. Sign high-rep players, develop youth players, play attacking football, make the most of set pieces. We'll do that. We'll try and... Is there a way I can convince them to do that? By the end of the season, win the Super League. I'm not sure we'll be able to do that. If they judge me on that, I'll be quite upset. But there's nothing more we can really add to that, is there? So I'm happy to work along with those proposals. Although we can't expect you to fulfill those expectations this season. That's fine. Okay, brilliant. No other requests. Okay. Partizan. We might be going there. Did Craiova ever sack their manager? Doesn't look like it. No, he's still very insecure, so that's handy for us. So, again, if Partizan don't come through, that might be okay. So we had just the one international game there against Norway in part of those World Cup qualifiers, and we won it 3-2. We beat Erling Haaland's team 3-2, which was quite good to see. But I'll keep updating you on the Croatia stuff, as long as we're still Croatia manager, because we might not be the Croatia manager for much longer, because Partizan have come through. They've come through big, and they've given us a job interview. Thank the Lord. We finally got not a job interview, a job offer. They've offered us a job. £17 million is a lot of money for Partizan, 230k per week. You know what? This is good, but do we have agreed board requests? None. So I presume that means I can keep the Croatia job. I'm presuming. Start negotiations. That's all fine. There's no promises that I can see that say we have to leave Croatia. Even though we said we might have to in the interview, I don't think we do. So we're about to become the Partizan manager. This is a fantastic outcome. This is better than what I would have expected. And I think none of you guys would expect this either. So we're going to go to Partizan, finalise the deal, exit the talks. Are we still Croatia manager? So here we go. Partizan have confirmed the appointment of me. Apparently a few eyebrows raised, but I don't think so. I think I've proven myself. Accumulated 9 experiences with the likes of CSKA Moscow and Croatia. If we're still Croatia manager, we're not too sure. We'll find out in a moment's time. Bit of history on the club, which is good to see. They've won cups along the way. Nothing that major, nothing like continental. Won loads of Serbian Cups and Serbian Super Leagues, but not like Red Star, who won a Champions League at one point. That was pretty mental. Best team, apparently, we'll look at that later on. Obviously, we've seen this bit. Next, press conference. We have to do that because we promised them we'd do better with the press and whatnot. So we'll have to do a press conference. But by looks of things, I have had to step down as Croatia manager, which, if I'm honest with you, I am very sorry about. And I think it's better that we've had to resign and get a good job at Partizan rather than keep Croatia and go to a lesser club. I think that's better. And of course, there will be opportunities down the line for us to become international managers somewhere else. But I do apologise. I know you guys are quite keen on that, but I think the way we got let down with Craiova is because we wanted to be international manager. Every interview we had accepted jobs for, I had said I'll step down. They gave the job interview and job offer, didn't they? The other clubs. So I feel like we had to say that to get this Partizan job. So I am sorry for those of you who really want to see international management. If you really do, let me know in the comment section, and we'll try and get some of that later on down the line. It has to be an Eastern European club, obviously, or country. So I am sorry about that, but we're at Partizan, and this is exciting. Fantastic stuff then. I've taken over. I've got a 59% win ratio, lost 18% of games, 4 cups, 2 leagues. Why wouldn't a club want to take me on? Some players in last year, their contracts, by looks of things, I'm happy to let them leave because they don't look very good. They're old, probably on a fair bit of money, £4,500 per week, as we can see there. Playing time, we're not too fussed about that. Tactics, we don't care. Let's have a quick look at the squad then at our disposal. And by looks of things, we seem to have some decent youngsters here. If we have a quick look actually at the squad view, this might show a little bit more information, as we can see. Excellent. Okay, we've got some good players with some good potential. This is what I like to see. These 3 players here, Marco, Gishlin and Saba, they're all got 5-star potential and they're all teenagers still. So we can build the squad around these players because they look like they're going to be really, really solid players for us. All got pretty decent determination as well, and some nice key stats about teamwork, work rate, off the ball sort of movement. We like that. The best 2 players are apparently these 2 in their mid-20s. We've got a left-back here, or can play centre-back. Maybe not quite centre-back. So maybe it's more of a left-back, which is already causing issues because this guy, who is 18, and is almost as good as this guy who we just looked at, is also a left-back. So that could cause some issues. But we do have a good right-back as well. So our back line, by looks of things, looks like it's going to be really, really decent, actually. How are things looking in the... Oh, we're top of the table. That wasn't expected. We're top of the table as it stands right now. I thought when the job came up, we were 3rd. We're now top of the table by 3 points. Right at the end of the season, I may add. In fact, we've literally got 1 game to go. Is that correct? Oh no, 1 game left of the preliminary phase. Now, I actually have, on YouTube, managed Red Star Belgrade. It was back in FM17. But I know all about the Serbian Super League. So the league, as you can see, is split into 2 parts. You've got the red bit and the blue bit. Now, in the preliminary phase, that's what it's known as, everyone plays everyone twice, I believe. So 30 games. After that, the league gets split in half and your points get halved. I don't know why they get halved, but they do get halved. And then everyone in the top half plays for the championship. Everyone in the bottom half plays to avoid relegation. That's how Serbian football works. So it's quite interesting, quite unique. So we are top of the table, about to go into this preliminary phase where the points get halved, and then we play everyone here. I think it's just the once. We play everyone, and then we decide if we win the title or not. So this is actually fantastic for us. We've been put immediately into a title-winning situation where we could just play, 8 games and then win the title. That would be amazing. So we'll look a bit more at this in next episode as well. We'll look more at the players next episode as well. It looks like they've had a pretty good season. I'm not quite sure why their manager got sacked. Can we see this? We go to the club managers. He just left the role, this guy. Patrick Kluivert. Oh, he's gone to be the manager of Shakhtar Donetsk. That's why the Partizan job came up, because this lad took the job that we never got offered at Shakhtar Donetsk. But Patrick Kluivert, we've had many run-ins with Patrick Kluivert before as well. If we look at his milestones as a manager, he was at Ferencváros. That's the only run-in we've actually had with him. I thought we might have more. Apparently not, but we've taken over Partizan, where he used to be, and he took our job at Shakhtar, which we almost maybe didn't have. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with how this episode's turned out. It's an awfully long recording. It's nearly an hour and a half long recording. I've no idea how I'm going to get this down into something reasonable for you guys to watch. It's not as long as yesterday's 40-minute marathon episode. So we'll see what happens. Knocked out of the Europa League as well by Lille, as you can see there. So no European football for us either. So it's just the league to focus on. That's exciting. So next episode, we're going to come back and we'll look a bit more in depth at Partizan and what we can do here. But we finally got a new job. It's taken us an awful long time to get one, but we finally got it. And I'm very excited about this one. So thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.